Look at me. Sit up. Don't move. Be quiet. Your cell phones, could you put them in the box by the door, please? I'm a teacher. That's what I am. And this is my classroom. And among this, we have this creative days of learning. So, could you raise your hand, please? Tell me the answer of something. Could you, please? Behave. So, this is what it turns out to be. I'm speechless. A child of 8 writes this. And this is not learning. This is everything but learning. And it is not what I am doing. This is some students, you find them everywhere in schools. And they are behaving like they think that they are forced to behave, or they give up, you know, like you with the dictionary. If you want sympathy, look in the dictionary. But we have to pick out the dictionary and give it to him so he can find the words that he needs to continue his life being challenged, maybe. Both of these are, well, I have to do something about this. I don't want this one to behave like he's very good and this one giving up. And I don't think that this is what I'm going to do, really. No. So I got the wrong attitude. This is William. He's 1 year old. I met him on a wedding, and I had my camera with me, and I am standing like this, taking a wedding portrait of the just wedded people, you know, the man and the wife, the father and mother of William, and he is, like you told me about the cameras, I have a camera here, and he can reach the camera. So he does, of course. And everyone says, no, well, it's expensive, William. You can't even touch the camera. But he doesn't know. It's a thing. And I am interested in this camera, and he is interested as well. I'm doing something, and he will try it. And he doesn't know about how much this camera costs. He is a doer, and he is a learner. So there's a little guy on the bus going through Stockholm. And this little guy, he's looking at you all over the bus. And you can tell, if you're sad, he will show. If you're mad, he will do like this. And if you're crying, he will cry. Because, see, he is inviting us for communication. He wants to talk to us. And he is telling you something about yourself all the time. But what are we telling him? So, to answer a child, you have to look at a child. And to look at a child, you have to be very aware of what you are. It's like going, who am I when I'm among children? It's like my rowing on the Atlantic. This is Nina. She's doing what everyone does around her. She is trying the cell phone, and she is figuring out the computer all by herself. And I recently, just before I went in here, had a text from a 5-year-old, and she texted me that I'm in the garden and I'm having a lot of fun. And she is a writer because she knows she's communicating she's talking to me, and she likes me. And I will text her back. So this child, she's looking at something, and if I do the very mistake to start looking at her and not what she's looking at, I will make a big mistake here, because I have to broaden her life, not look at her, but what she's looking at. Tell her this is a cat, this is the view, this is the horizon of learning, and I will stand here close to her and look the same direction, of course. So I can give her something ahead of her. And to write, like write your own name. And this is new. This child who is writing her name, she's doing this for the very first time ever. It's like a Nobel Prize. And when that is done, it has to continue, and we have to take care of this. Lisa, it's your name, Lisa. And she will make Lisa all over because she's proud of what she's doing. And we have to stay there and see, you are doing something new for you. This is new for you. And we shall take care of that. So I have to redo my education. I know how to write, but she doesn't. And I have to look at this as I didn't know the thing she did. Walking through my school, I see children making things. And they sit like in a circle, talking, building with Lego or with sticks. And they're talking about how to make the next movement and how to create how big this would be. And as a teacher, I have my learning and teaching in the classroom. So I have to, well, put that away, boys. You have to have maths in the classroom. Instead of staying there, finding out what they are doing and why they are doing this and how they talk, I have to stay there to look at this. It's my island of learning for myself. I went to South Africa to look at schools and learning, and I brought my 2 cameras along. And this piece of acting is giving something to the children that they are not aware of, but they can handle. So immediately when I got with my camera in the classroom, of course the camera was, they were paying attention to the camera more than paying attention to me. And I asked them, do you want to try it? And they did. Around the classroom, my camera went along, and I got beautiful pictures from children taking photos of themselves. And the result is in the camera. And they can find it out immediately. And they were like, oh, you shot me. You shot me. And I was like, yeah, and here you are. In my classroom, I'm not a teacher. I'm giving a room for learning together with all of us. And this is important because I don't know everything. I don't even, I have to let this space to my children to tell. I have an idea here. Could I tell? Of course you can tell. And this girl, she is having an idea how to figure something out. And she's gathering all the children around her. And they are there because they want to know, what are you telling? And she's not performing like you have to act so you get your degree. She's doing this because she got an idea that she wants to share. And that's the way TED is like. I'm sharing this idea of teaching and learning in the classroom. And she's doing this in this teach-meet classroom, you know. I have my worries like a teacher. And that's bothering me. I don't like that. You know, how should we do with spelling? A big issue. He's not behaving, a big issue. Put your cell phone down, it's a big issue. Instead of, what are you doing? Asking questions, what is this? So I let the wonder, the question that children ask, be their experience to find out. I'm not telling them that you can't spell country, but they find out, well, it doesn't spell like this. Am I allowed to try for once on a paper? I'm allowed to. You are learning, you have to do it the way you want to do it. And this started out like a meeting place around words like this. And they were talking like about country, and then they talked about spelling, but they were talking and learning. And reading, they said, well, you can't pick text outs for us. We want to pick our text out, and we want harder ones. You're not challenging us. We want something that's more interesting, maybe, of course. And we want to tell you how we experience text the way we do. So we put the picture on the text. And some of the children, they didn't like to read this, but they liked to paint the picture. So they paint a picture and read while they paint. But it all runs through the classroom idea. So this is the way it should be. Like I have something to broaden my horizon, and the classroom is a very tiny room, but still you can do a lot in there. No, you can't tell. I don't want you to tell that I'm a teacher, because I'm not. I'm got a wrong attitude towards learning, and I want to change so that I can pick up what children are doing in the classroom and start there, like the grass movement you talked about. And sometimes I think, I will now summarize all the speech talks here, that we have some Serbia in education, and we have to travel, do something new, not disturb learning, join in, and not insult children, but telling them where the best place is to learn. It might be somewhere we don't know. And never judge. Never judge. You have an idea, and you have to bring your idea in front of us in the classroom. And look deeply into the big pictures of what learning is, and looking at the way children look by your cameras, like taking the photos here in the classroom. What is this? And the sea of the future is to give the future and be hopeful. And you were talking about experts that's splitting and not, yeah. And I had to pick something up. What you told us is that lesson doesn't link, and lessons have to link. So we can't be experts in our classrooms alone. We have to be experts among each other, not drifting apart. And sometimes education is like disconnecting, not connecting. And the classroom work should be a help to success and natural steps towards success. And I would love to have the idea, because in Sweden we have 5,600 communities, and you were proud of yours. And I would love to say I'm proud of all the communities we have in Sweden here. And we are working on together to change and for sustainability in education. And it's a grass movement, you know. No. Growing up is to maybe be that tree one day. And we have to share with the children, because that's the future. And we have something to learn from them, because they are never afraid of failing, and they don't know the word of risk. And we are giving them risks and telling them that they are risk takers, but they're not. They're not even brave. They want to. And that's the main thing about learning, wanting to. So I have to rechange. And you're telling about water and rowing and going on boats. And my mother was on the big boat that sank on Östersjön, you know, with dots on Östersjön. And my daughter had a part of this boat. She was going to travel with her grandmother to Estonia. And she was very happy about this trip. And because she had, it was such a Sahara in the school. She was in the, it was really, really boring. No challenges whatsoever. But they changed teachers. And she got a teacher that changed our lives forever. Because she phoned her grandmother and said, "Is it okay, grandmother, that I'm not following you on this trip across the sea?" And grandmother, she said, "Well, school is important to you, isn't it?" "Yes, it is. We got a new teacher and next week," and blah, 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 blah. And she didn't go on the boat, and the school saved her. And I guess sometimes we need places that saves us and tell us you're good and you have the future in front of you. And well, that's education, giving the horizon of learning. And I'm a teacher, and I'm very proud of being one. Thank you.